Navia Litsoy Sheinu, Lechu Lechu, Ranana, Ranana, Ladonai Navia, Navia Litsoy Sheinu, Nekadmafana, Bitada Bizranarialo, Nekadmafana, Bitada Bizranarialo, Nekadmafana, Bitada Bizranarialo, Nekadmafana, Bitada Bizranarialo. Lechu lechu ranana ranana ladonai navia navia letzoy sheinu. Lechu lechu ranana ranana ladonai navia navia letzoy sheinu.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm so glad you are with us this evening as we welcome one another, as we welcome Shabbat. If you have your copy of the congregation's prayer book, I would invite you to grab it now or to open the flip book version if you would like to pray along from your home as we continue in song.
Hine ma tov manahim shavarachim gam yechad. 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 Hine ma tov manahim shavarachim gam yachad. Hine ma tov manahim shavarachim gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom to the Weisbergs and the Markowitzes, the Lockett-Schwartz family. I'm so glad that you are joining us. And Shabbat Shalom to all of you who are joining us on Facebook Live or on YouTube for Temple Emanuel's Friday night service. We're so blessed to be together even in this virtual space, and we begin on page 2 as we kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We continue our welcoming as we greet one another, as we greet the Sabbath herself to celebrate, to pray with us this day. Words of Lecha Dodi found on page 20.
Lecha lecha dodi lika likat kala P'nei p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi likat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad Hishmi'anu el hamichad Adonai echad u'shemo echad L'shem u'tiferet v'lit hilal la 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 lecha dodi likat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi likat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha Ki mekor habracha Mirosh mikedem nesucha Sof ma'aseh b'machashvat tchila la 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 lecha dodi likat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi likat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri Kiva orech kumi ori uri shir taveri Kavod nai alaich nigla la 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 lecha dodi likat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi likat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom atzeret bala Gam b'simcha uvtzola Toch emonei yom segula Boricha la 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 Lecha dodi likat kala P'nei p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha duti lekad kala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela.
We continue our greeting, welcoming the Barnett family and the Devorans, Bonnie Lieberman, Alan, and Irene. It is so great to have you joining us for our Shabbat evening service, as well as everyone who is tuning in from the comfort of your own home. We continue our greeting and our welcoming with words of Shalom Aleichem, found on page 24 in our Siddur. We're adding 18 if you're using the search feature on Flipbook.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bachuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seidchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
It is such a pleasure to have you with us as we continue with our Shabbat evening service. Whether you are in Florida or California, whether you are in Mount Lebanon or Upper St. Clair or Scott or Peters, whether you're in the Northeast, we wish you a Shabbat Shalom as we turn to page 26. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah
Amen.
Ve'almad yivrachu v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chayedecho Beit Yisrael Bagala u'vizman kariv v'yimeru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach Le'olam me'amaya Yitbarach v'yishabach v'yibar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shemei chudashah b'richu le'lamin go birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'yimeru.
Amen.
On page 28, our Baruch Hu praise, our call to worship, you'll notice that Rabbi Emily and I will remain seated mainly so that our heads don't rise above the level of the camera. We invite you to rise if you wish, or to rise in spirit as we join in prayer.
Yai da lai 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 lai. Yai da lai 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 lai. Yai da lai 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 lai. Yai da lai 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 lai. Yai da lai 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 lai. Yai da lai 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 lai. Yai da lai 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 lai. Yai da lai 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 lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Continue with a reading from Rabbi Shai Held. Vulnerability is a double-edged sword. It can expand the circle of our concern to include others who are vulnerable too, but it can also lead us to tighten the circle around ourselves and ignore or forget everyone but those closest to us. When we are reminded of just how vulnerable we are, The ultimate moral test is not whether we hold our loved ones close, but whether we remember others, especially those without loved ones, to hold them close. The challenge of the moment is to let our shared vulnerability open our hearts to one another. Acknowledging our vulnerability enables us to move from pity to compassion. Pity is driven by a sense of superiority. What happened to you could never happen to me. But compassion is animated by a sense of shared humanity. What happened to you could happen to any of us. Whereas pity is vertical, compassion is horizontal. In showing another person compassion, I reach across to them rather than looking down at them. It's a lesson that we take from our Passover Seder. We were each strangers in the land of Egypt and thus have a responsibility to one another as well as to our God. The watchwords of our faith, Shema Yisrael, can be found in your prayer books on page 34.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed, Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, B'chol levacha, v'chol nafshecha, ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשיטתך ובביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך. וקשרתם נאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני Adonai Elohechem.
On page 40, our Mi Chamocha prays that our ancestors sang not at the conclusion of their making it to the promised land, but at the conclusion of their exodus. The midway point in our story, we continue on page 40.
Yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehera b'kodesh, nora tehila roseferet, nora tehila roseferet. מלכותך ובניך, בוקע לפני משה ומרים, זלינו ואמרו, זלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la 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 la.
Continue on page 42 with words of Hashkivenu.
Oh, guide my steps and help me find my way. I need your shelter now. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps and help me make each day a song of praise to you. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps. Shalom Aleinu ve'al amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah Adonai Aporei Suchat Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael.
Shabbat Shalom to everyone who is joining us this evening, those who are watching on YouTube Live, the Altshuls and the Schwartzes and the Udrins. We're so glad to have you with us, as well as everyone who is joining us in prayer from the comfort of your own homes, the place where we can keep ourselves and others safe. Words of Vishamru remind us of the importance of Shabbat, even now, especially now in our lives, and can be found on page 44 in our prayer books.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם לדורותם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם לדורותם. ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם, עוד היא לעולם, עוד היא לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם לדורותם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם לדורותם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם לדורותם. Thought has blown the marketplace away. There's a song on the wind and joy in the trees. Shabbat arrives in the world, scattering a song in the silence of the night. And eternity honors a day. Eternity honors a day. Adonai Sfatai Tiftoch, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Adonai Sfatai Tiftoch, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Chasdevot V'Imahot V'Mevik Ula Livnei B'neihem L'ma'an Shema Ve'ava Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Be'ezrat Sarah
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע.
משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם,
מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מלחמך בגבורות, ומדום מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצניח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, קדושים בכל יום יעלוך סלה, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
If you've ever wondered what it's like to be in the home of two rabbis, and you wonder if we disagree all the time about Jewish principles, it happens, and you may have just noticed it happen. If you're paying close attention, Emily and I disagreed in our understanding of when we make the shift from Mashiv Haruach Umorid Hagashem, the prayers we say for rain in the winter time, to Morid Hatal, the prayer we say in the summertime. To my point, I would point out that it snowed today and it feels like wintertime. To her point, we make that transition at some point during Passover. Consider it a scavenger hunt. You're clearly already used to the use of technology on Shabbat. Google that real fast. Does one make that transition at the beginning of Passover or at the very end?
Or is it on the very second day of Passover? Who knows who's right?
I think we'd be very interested to find out as we continue with words of Shalom Rav, asking for peace not only in the world but in our own home as well.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki Atahu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Ki Atahu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה Mishlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
May the one who makes peace in the high heavens
make peace for all Israel and all who inhabit the earth.
Don't stop after beating the swords into plowshares. Don't stop.
Go on beating and make musical instruments out of them.
Whoever wants to make war again will have to turn them into plowshares first.
continue with a Mi Sheberach prayer, our prayer for those who are ill. There are too many in this world in need of God's healing presence and humanity's healing touch. We ask for prayers for all of them as we continue on page 253.
Mi sheberach avotenu mikor bracha limotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu b'kor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Mi kamocha va'elim Adonai, our ancient ancestors were said to have proclaimed on the opposite shore of the Sea of Reeds, "Who is like you, God? You're amazing. If you had taken us out of Egypt, if you had delivered judgments against Pharaoh." A little bit of a technology snafu. If you had split the sea, if you had led us through on dry ground, Dainu, it would have been enough. Norah tehilot oseh fela, awesome in practice, worker of wonders, they sang out. Moses and all of the Israelites sang their greatest song of praise, a song we still sing thousands of years later, not at the end of their journey, but in its middle. They still had 40 years of wandering around the desert to go. They were still going to lose many people from their midst. And still they exclaimed this expression of gratitude. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Blessed are you, God, Redeemer of Israel. These words, this prayer, resonates with me after a very long week. Passover Seder was hard. As we said the words, "Let all who are hungry come and eat," while we were shutting the doors on our very own families for our safety and for theirs. Thursday morning was hard as we woke up to the news that Governor Wolf wisely ordered schools to remain closed through the remainder of the academic year. Every morning is hard as we wake up in a perpetual Groundhog Day, wondering what day it even is, let alone how we're going to make meaning with it. Yet, we also receive some good news. The dire predictions for the loss of life are being adjusted downward as societal distancing shows its efficacy. The curve is being flattened in Italy, in California, in New York, as our collective actions take effect. We are saving lives. Dainu, this alone is sufficient. And so, we breathe, we sing, we continue to express gratitude for those in our lives who are fighting this fight, the angels in PPE and the essential frontline staff in grocery stores and pharmacies. Like the ancient Israelites, we express this gratitude not at the end of the journey, but in its middle. We still have some time wandering through the desert to go, no doubt, but that need not consume us. We can still find meaning in each day. We can still make each day count. And count we do. In Jewish tradition, we number the days between Passover and the holiday of Shavuot, between the exodus from Egypt and the giving of Torah at Sinai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kichanu b'mitzvot hav, v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer, hayom shnei yamim la'omer. Today is the second day of the Omer. It has become tradition to study some of the wisdom literature of our tradition, Pirkei Avot, during this time of counting. Each day, as part of our daily email and on Facebook, we'll post a small section, just one phrase from Pirkei Avot, to inspire us to think about who we are and who we want to be. It's not an easy time. There are many dark days ahead. Yet how we respond, what we do with this vulnerability, is up to us. Compassion, not pity, Rabbi Held taught us. Gratitude, not feeling overwhelmed. Making each day count. Then it will truly be sufficient. Dayenu. We turn back in our text to words of Aleinu L'Shabech found on page 282, or adding 18 if you're using the flipbook version.
Aleinu L'Shabech L'Adon HaKol, L'Atet Gdula L'Tzeh Breshit, Shelo Asanu K'Grei HaRatzot, V'lo Samanu K'Mishpachot Hadama, Shelo Sam Chalkeinu Kahem, V'Gorelenu K'Chol Hamonam, V'Anachnu Korim, U'Mishtachavim U'Modim, Lifnei Melech Malchei HaMelechim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, V'Ne'emai V'Haya Adonai, L'Melech Al Kol Ha'aretz, Bayom Ha'hu, Yiyeh Adonai Echad, U'Shemo Echad.
Our thoughts now turn to those of our loved ones, those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity, those who have been removed from our midst before their time, and those after a fullness of life. We think of Edward Grupp and Rick Matthews, two who have passed away in recent days, as well as those whose yahrzeit, the commemoration of their passing, occurs this Shabbat. Dave Abramowitz, Bernard Baskin, Ruth Lebowitz Bernstein, Rosalie Bond, Molly Wise Bukareski, Madeline Hirsch Katayo, Ruth Diamond, William Diskin, Marshall Feldman, Eli Friedman, Carol Herman, Dora B. Jacobson, Stanley Callender, Fred Landay, Maurice Levine, Jules R. Levcoy, Harry Lewis, Sarah Liebenson, Bernice Ida Myers, William Mills, Rose Mines, Samuel C. Mines, Selma Moydell, Tibby Morris, Nancy Ohl, Alexander Peitgoff, Sadie Diskin Resnick, Jean Rosenberg, Sophie Rosenberg, Henrietta Rothis, Saul Sarvansky, Banky H. Scott, Emmanuel Small, Sophie Segai, Rhodey S. Verk, and Esther Weissman. If there are others you are remembering on this Shabbat, or if I have inadvertently mispronounced the name of your loved one, I would invite you to say their name aloud, even if you are alone in the comfort of your home, that by sharing their name, we recall their many memories that continue to be for us an everlasting blessing. Zichronam livracha. We continue on page 294. Yikadal v'kadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach, le'olam l'amei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yithalev v'yithalal shemei d'kusha b'richu, Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran ve'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who makes peace in the highest of heavens make peace for us and for all who mourn, as together we say, Amen. words that have been on my mind and on my lips since our virtual second night Seder last night, a setting that Tim Brogdon taught us of Eliyahu Hanavi, our prayer for the end of this journey to come soon.
Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu Hagiladi. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimera Yavo Elenu Mashiach ben David, Bimera Yavo Elenu Mashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimera Yavo Elenu Mashiach ben David, Bimera Yavo Elenu Mashiach ben David.
Shabbat Shalom from Emily and I, from your entire Temple Emanuel family, Rabbi Jessica Lockitz and Iris Harlan, Leslie Hoffman, and our wonderful staff. We wish you and yours a Shabbat Shalom, a Shabbat of rest, a Shabbat of compassion, a Shabbat of making each and every day count. Shabbat Shalom.